Oh, we're on a live stream with Hercules. What's going on, ladies? Oh, I don't know if you got the flexing. What's been happening? What's everyone been doing? We're taking it back to YouTube. I guess you could say the OG. What's been happening, guys? What has been happening? What's been everyone been up to? I have to check these features. It looks like they've updated some of the shit on the studio. But what has been happening, guys? I come on to do a video because a lot of people are in a panic about UAE, and I have a lot of friends there and a lot of people that I like and I know that they're stressed because there's a shit happening in Iran. There's missiles flying around there. People are in a bit of a panic around that area. Some of them. I mean, I would know because I've had DMs from people. So some people aren't really happy about what's been happening there and things like that. But some people are really happy. I mean, I think that it's been well handled over there. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they've been taking down a lot of missiles before they've hit places, which is good. Yeah, other than that, also, I'm going to comment on the market, crypto, where things are at. I'm not in UAE. I was meant to fly back there, but I did. And then I stayed where I am. I'm in Asia. So, yeah, I dodged the whole quagmire. I was meant to be back there, but I stayed out of there. But let's just get straight into what I would do if I was in UAE at the moment. And remember that I'm just saying it as someone who's an outside. I'm not a member of the government or anything like that. I'm just a foreigner, and I'm only saying my what it is that I would do personally. I would understand that if you're there, in my view, there is probably a 1 to 5% chance of an actual bigger, much larger event that has happened now. But I also saw recently that UAE has said that they're not going to use any of their airspace for US craft to go into Iran. So I would assume that that lowers their risk, like from a perspective of Iran. I mean, if you're not, harboring the people that are attacking them, then they're going to be a lot more generous, I would assume, with actually sending over the drones. They're not going to send as many. But I have a theory. If I had to guess, my theory of what it is, I don't believe that Iran are actually sending the drones over there. I think it's another country that's actually sending them over to, places like UAE, places like, Qatar and places like that. I would be very surprised if, imagine this. So imagine that, you're the US, you have missile capabilities of essentially blowing up all of the leadership of Iran, all of the way down. As soon as a new one surfaces, they're dead. But then you're telling me that they're still able to just send unlimited barrages of drones around. But you have satellites. Like as soon as the drone goes up, you're going to see where it's come from and you're going to flatten that air. You're telling me that they get rid of all of the leadership, but they can't get rid of, people, groups who are damaging the local fucking their allies. If they wanted to stop it, they could. They have a lot of missiles and things like that. They could stop it very quick. I think that, I'm at probably a 5%, 1 to 5% chance that, oh, actually, I think it's probably like a 10 to 20% chance that there'll be a nuke. It might just be a tactical nuke, but it'll be a level of a nuclear issue in the Middle East. I think 10 to 20%. Some would argue maybe even much, much higher probability of that. I said a while ago, I think I said like a month and a half ago that they'll nuke Iran. And people were like, why would they nuke them? Like, you're a madman. Not like they did during Hiroshima where they flattened a whole city. They can do little tactical nukes. Like, they still do a lot of damage. But the issue is also the brilliance of it is essentially you attack a lot of other countries and then you get other countries to contribute. And then no one really notices if a nuke goes off here and there, like a small tactical one, and then they're going to be like, who actually was the one that did it? No one will exactly know what happened. But if you don't think so we're sitting on the third of the third, we're looking at a blood moon, like, it's to be determined Christ was crucified on a blood moon, the same one as tonight. And you think that none of that is related? Like, you really think that none of that stuff is related? Like, you really think that? I believe that when there's a blood moon out, something harvests your emotions, something harvests your energy. Terra Luna and FTX both collapsed during a blood moon. Something harvests your energy more during those periods. Like, you guys understand you're being farmed. Like, your energy itself is being farmed. That's why you check the X in the last, 2 days especially, and it's just constant bad propaganda. It's constant stress. Like, if you even before the Iran shit, you were probably already stressed because crypto is like in the shitter, and not just that, the price of everything continues to rise. The price of oil and now electricity and power and gas is ridiculous. Like, it's a real problem. You should understand that again, your energy is being farmed. Like on a blood moon, as I've said, that's the truth of it. It's a multiplier. When the moon comes out, it's an energy, like it's an emotion multiplier. Like the moon comes out, as I've said before, you build during the day with your hands, like you're in the masculine, and then you're actually in somewhat of in the feminine creative flow at night when the moon is out. And when the moon's out and it's a blood moon, it's a multiplier. Like everything is heightened. Something is farming you, something's feeding on you. That's why it's so negative. The emotional energy is not destroyed. It's going to something. It's fueling something. But I do believe that if I had to guess over the next 3 days, I believe that it's very likely that there'll be a mass casualty event. Mass casualties, like unrelated to what's happened in Iran already. I'm sure a lot of people have already died. But I would believe that there will be a mass casualty somewhere in the Middle East. I'm not to say where it will be, because I mean that's just like flipping a coin. There's always problems in the Middle East, like there's always war. Yeah, I know that Dubai is not finished. I mean, obviously, it's going to come back to normal. It's going to recover at some point. But you guys understand Dubai's narrative is that it's a safe haven. Like a lot of people only go there because it's a safe haven. Like a lot of people go there and understand the mindset of a safe haven is that once something happens, people have no loyalty to a safe haven. Foreigners, you're there to not pay taxes and you're there because it's safe. As soon as the safety narrative is out the window, then another chance in another area that's safer and has the same taxes, you're going to just be like, oh, well, I have no loyalty to the place, so I'll just leave. A lot of people will think like that. Of course, it's not finished. It's not finished, and that the value proposition is good. The government's handled it very well. They have good munitions and good technology, and it's been a good showcase for them. But it's also it's like, let's just not mix words. It's not good for the narrative, right? Narrative builds everything. Like narrative is the reason why you can stand there and the people scream at the top of their lungs that it's the safest city on earth and the safest country. It's hard to say that when drones are striking the buildings. I mean, I know that it's very safe. I've been there a lot of times. I have a residency there. I think it's a great spot, a great city, and a great country. UAE itself is a very good spot. But just I've said it before. If you're there and you can't get out of there, or you decided to stay there and things like that, just have a plan. Like I've said before, if you're in a high-rise building and the attacks accelerate, like they might actually get worse. They might use their hypersonic missiles. Like they could be worse than just drones. Then I would have a plan of what to do. Like, well, what are you going to do? Have a plan. I think that I'll stay in Asia for a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to go back to Dubai because everything's closed there. And I also don't want to be in the Middle East right now. I said it a month and a half ago that an area in the Middle East will be nuked. And people said I was a madman. Like people said that I must be completely crazy. Like that would never happen. Do you really want to get into the theory of why there'll be a nuke and a mass casualty event? It's because they're actually building the third temple. Like they'll rebuild it. You guys don't know anything about Greater Israel? Like, do you actually know about the thesis, like the plan? They've been very open about it. Talking about those topics is dangerous. Like that's the most dangerous thing to talk about. And it doesn't mean that I'm against them. I mean, they've been pretty open about what it is that they would like to expand. The thing with Israel and why they'll be able to expand, though, is because they have the backing of the US. It's like you're the smaller guy and you want to do shit, but you know that you're just pushing around giants, but then you have like the biggest boss behind you. Like the US, have said before, they have like the military powerhouse of the whole world. Like, but I said this so much, like for so long, I've been saying this for like 5 or 10 years, that no one, any time ever, unless the world ends, will ever be able to compete with the US with war. They have technology that's not of this world. Like it's really, that's just the truth. The shit that you see now, even when they're flying like B-2s and shit, that's not their best technology. Yeah, hey man, I'm struggling in terms of making money. I'm a tried dev route and agency freelance work, but it just isn't taking in, feeling distinctly directionless financially in that sense. Yeah, well, you have to have a plan of something. I don't know what you're good at. If you're good at tech, maybe you can pivot into some other form of technology or something else. But I know that it is difficult. Like it really is difficult to be in some fields have been kind of replaced, right? And it's hard to really keep up. How can I keep my sanity energy during these war times? I feel like whatever I'll do is going to be a war in the close future, or so I know I'm getting farmed. Yeah, well, you are. You're getting farmed of your energy. You're getting distracted. But it's hard not to. I mean, specifically if you're near a war era. But that's the design. Like again, we're on a blood moon. The moon itself is, I believe, it's like a multiplier, specifically on a time like this. I mean, Jesus was sacrificed under a blood moon, right? Or he was crucified. I mean, they don't argue that. That was the third of the, what was it? That was the 3rd of April, yeah, 33. So again, you're in another 3-3 narrative as you are now. And the blood moon, what was it? It was over there where they were, and it was at 3:33 a.m., right? Like over where the war is. None of that shit is coincidental. Like all that shit is it's just the way that the world is designed. Yeah, I mean, the likelihood of you being hit with a bomb is pretty fucking low, right? Like it doesn't matter even if missiles start falling from the sky here, and there's I don't know 200 skyscrapers and one gets hit. I mean, that means your chance is like 0.5%. It's pretty fucking slim. But also, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be careful. Like if anything's happening, I'm not sitting there with the glass here because I mean, if there's a percussion or actual vibration or explosion, the impact pushes all of the glass and I'll just get cut in half. Like it pushes the whole window through me. Glass is the enemy. If there's any explosions or anything, shut all of the blinds. Like, don't. Some people would just be sitting there, and there's like drones going around. And again, it's a very low probability. But I don't want to be cut in half by glass. I'll just keep the blinds shut. Of course, if there's an impact where it comes straight through the window, it's worse. But it's much less likely. It's more likely that it would be nearby, but it also could smash the glass through you, right? The percussion. What do I think about Doge? I mean, I don't think about any altcoins at the moment. The market is completely cooked. Where to from here? Will this war continue for months on and come to an end very soon? I believe it will come to a catastrophic end quite soon. I think that there'll be I believe, like I've said, a mass casualty event that will essentially end it. That's the truth of it. Like all those sort of battles and things that'll come to a big climax. That's the thing. That's the story. I watched a live stream from 3 March, and you said that in 3 months ago, and you said that in Feb March something big will happen. Yeah, that's true. Understand that something big will happen off the back of this because, as I've said before, so what happened in 2019? I think that we had quantitative tightening ended about August. So quantitative tightening ended in 2019. August, we wrapped it up. And then we had our first COVID case in December 2019, was it? Yeah, December 2019, they had the first case of COVID. And then we had COVID lockdowns from like Feb, March. But again, that's what a 6 or 7 month period post quantitative tightening that actually we had a catastrophic event, right? Like COVID was a catastrophic event. And then there'll be a level the same as COVID but that'll actually be because we need to print more money. Because understand that a lot of the countries now that have been hit around the Middle East and had all of this shit happen, they need to buy more technology. They need to buy more shit. Like they need to buy more defense. They need to buy more tech. Because the people are going to be like, you need to spend more on this specific department, which means that you need to print more money. UAE and Saudi, they're one of the few countries that probably don't really even need to print much money because they make so much money from oil and all of those, like energy sector. They'll actually be able to fund it. They can fund their own shit. They just they haven't really been around long enough. Like you can't be hard on UAE or Dubai. I mean, they haven't really been around like a major piece or player in a very long, like for that long. It's still all kind of being built out, but I think they have done very well. I mean, they've done very well striking down missiles and things like that. There's nothing else that you can really do. I would give credit to the leadership. That I saw a video of them walking around the mall. That's genius. Because I mean, if I saw the leadership leaving the country and I was still there, I would be paying whatever it took to get the fuck out of the country. If the leadership aren't in the country during where they're getting hit, I'm not sticking around. Like I'm not a dumbass. If they didn't feel that it was safe enough to stay, I'm not going to stay. But then they were walking around the mall and things like that. So they're showing that they're still there, which is important. It's good for morale. But they wouldn't be foolish, like, they're not gonna be walking around the streets and shit, like, taking massive risks. Some people are just, like, running around the beach clubs and like, "Look how strong I am," and like, I'm flexing on everyone, I'm not afraid." Some people who are dumb don't get afraid also. Like, they've never really seen how, society itself, the fabric can break down if something really happens. See, people in Dubai really think that if there was actually a large attack, that all of that nice manners and shit would stick around for 5 minutes after an attack, and it'd all vanish. People would turn into animals because there's no responsibility. Like, I mean, you're with people who are nothing like you again. Like, if shit happens in Australia, Australians are like, okay, well, we'll look after each other because we're all Australian. But in a country like that, you'll have people who have only there because they have pay no taxes. They have no loyalty to shit. The foreigners, they're not going to give a single fuck at all. It's going to be like, oh well, I'm just I'm taking what it is that I can get. I'm going to look after myself. That's the logic, right? And also in that country, you get a lot of people that have already fled wars and that have a history of running. So if you think that they're not going to just run again, then I mean that's pretty obvious, right? That's the issue of being like a hub like that. You get people who run from a war in their own country and things like that. And if there's ever a war, they're not going to fight. They're not going to do shit. The locals will because they have to. I mean, that's their country. But the foreigners won't have a true amount of loyalty, most of them. Because why would they? Like shit happens in Singapore, they're just like if they're not an actual resident there or anything, they're just going to leave. Like the foreigners. Some people are only there to pay little taxes, and then as soon as that changes, they're gone. Dubai is a very good spot. It is a very good spot, but also to understand that you can't post a lot of shit there. If you're posting videos or news or like you're even if it's true, like you can get in a lot of trouble in there. You can't post that sort of stuff. You have to be careful. This will greatly ruin the reputation of real estate prices, but how low do you think it'll get? I don't actually think that it will really ruin their reputation as long as they're not getting hit by missiles. And also, I think that they've handled it pretty well. Like, no one really expects that they're not America. Like, they haven't existed for very long. They don't have like a massive army. They don't have a big population or anything like that. They haven't really, they've been around a lot in history, but they haven't been like they're rapidly expanding. So no one's really sitting there being like, "Oh, I expected that they're going to like fly their bombers out and like take revenge and all of that." They're mostly a part of their business that does very well is that they're usually able to like they're a point where a lot of countries can come to and deal with, kind of like a harbor. They don't really have a lot of enemies, which is good for business. That's the perfect position to be in, that you're neutral to a lot of people, so you can provide oil and, resources and things like that to a lot of people. You're not just stuck with one group, because if you're stuck with just one group, you inherit their shit, which is likely what's happening now. I'm not saying that I'm a geopolitical expert on their areas, but that's likely with the outcome that's happening now. I'm making around 50K profit a month, like, okay, in a high tax Eurozone, plan to go to one of my low. Uh, I would just wait it out, right? Like, understand this idea of everywhere that's a tax haven or areas like that, you realize that when you're there, you pay, you have your perks because there's also risks that you don't understand, like a lot of people. Like, do you really think that the places like, I don't know, the countries where you're from are rushing to fly you out of Dubai? They're not, because they know that most people are there and they pay no taxes. They're never like the local governments aren't coming in and sending the jets and shit to get you out of there if you're stuck there. They won't look after you if shit happens. I mean, Dubai itself is a good spot and they're doing the best they can, but your country is not going to fix anything. Like, if you're in there and you have an issue and you call the embassy, you have no help. That's the story. Thoughts on the tax bros pivoting from Dubai to Latin America countries like Panama and Paraguay? Uh, it's possible, specifically as they clean up parts of it. But again, like, these places aren't completely clean either. Like Panama, there's parts of it that aren't safe. And it's kind of like, I don't have anything against people from Panama and places like that, but they're kind of like, in my view, as a foreigner, like a nothing place. They're like, people are just there to pay no taxes, and it's kind of soulless. Like, you're not going to fit in. Like, Dubai, I love it and all of that, and it's a great spot and all of that, but it has a lot of people saying that there's this not much happening there, like beyond the surface. Because it's, again, sometimes the stuff that's really cringe and like gay or like lame is like, if you're an American and you go watch the hockey or you watch your basketball or shit like that, and everyone will tell you that you're a dumbass to do all of that. Some people will say you're a dumbass to, like, watch the game or like have these like really commercial leisure times that you enjoy. But actually, that's part of the fabric that builds society. Those bonding experiences and shit like that, like, you bond at a deeper level than just running around and being like, "Oh, you do drop shipping? Yeah, I do drop shipping. Let's network. Oh, you're an OFM? I'm an OFM. Let's network." Everything can just become about business. Like, how do I get shit out of another person while also likely giving them less than it is that I'm taking? So it can be tiresome, like those ideas. You will have more of a connection sitting there, I don't know, watching a game with a friend, even if it's cringe and lame and all of that, because you're not taking anything off the other person. You're both just enjoying a moment. I'm an Australian making 100, 200K a year online, no employees or location needed, and don't know where to move to max out my life at this income. Yeah, I would certainly have a plan. I would certainly have a plan to get out if you're making that sort of money, specifically if it's online. And then I would try to scale up to, like, 250, 300K consistently. There's no like recommended where it is that you fucking go. It's your decision, like what it is that you're comfortable with. To understand that every tax haven has its elements of downside. A lot of people, it's very transient. People are not really there. You're not going to meet a lot of chicks there. Like, a lot of girls who go there are going to be more opportunists. They're there to meet a guy who has a lot of money. Like, why would they live in a tax zone? There's going to be a lot of escorts, or they're going to be career women themselves, and to be determined if you like that or not. You can go there and meet people as well, but I've said before, it's transient. People move around. A lot of people are there for a short time. People are there for a tax break. There's a lot of people there, some that are scammers. They're there because they can't go anywhere else. They're there because they have financial crime charges in other countries, some of them. No, like, people don't just go to a tax haven. It's not that normal. It's kind of unusual, unless you're making, like, truckloads of money. Oh, you're running away from shit. That's why there's a lot of scammers in those sort of areas as well. If I have 100K, should I just put it into BTC, or should I try something like drop shipping? I think it's good to start an actual business, right? So that you have cash behind you. As I've been cucked by this market, is yeah, I got cucked by this market because I just overinvested. Even I got fucked on this market. I overinvested at fucking, like, I was still buying at like 3K Ethereum. I put like $2 million in or something like that. I was buying Sui at like $2, like more, maybe like $2 or $3. And then I just got cucked by this market. So I myself, this market cycle has not been good. Been to both Dubai and Abu Dhabi, felt completely soulless compared to places in Europe that I've been used to. Just felt everything is about materials and people trying to be a facade. There's a lot of flexing on dudes in those countries. Dubai itself, I really like it, and I think it's a fucking great spot. But there's a lot of guys there who don't know who they are. They're trying to figure themselves out through money. They're trying to figure themselves out. I say it before, I've said it, and I say it. It's the truth. Dubai is Bali for men. I coined that term, and it's the truth because I've seen it 100 times. A lot of women go to Dubai or go to Bali to find themselves, and a lot of guys go to Dubai to try to find themselves and find piles of money and figure out who they are. A lot of guys go there if they don't feel like they're enough, and now they can flex online, but really you're just flexing for dudes because the place is full of guys. I think it's great, and it's a great spot and all of that. There's a lot of fucking benefits. It's very, very safe. Like, I know it's not, if there's drones and shit going around right now, but it's very safe. Everywhere has downside. What do I think about Andrew Tate saying this is a proxy war and nothing to do with anything? I mean, it's obviously they're changing the leadership, so I wouldn't say that it's a nothing war. I mean, it's obvious, right? I think that it's likely that the war itself will escalate, and I believe this is how they're building out the third temple. Like, this is the greater Israel theory playing out. I think that the war will never end, and it will expand until Israel owns all of the Middle East, even Turkey. Like, they'll have all of that. That's what I believe. If they don't have it by force and that it's actually their land, they'll have it by fear. Because if you're on the shit list, they have America behind them. Like you can't do shit about it. If you get punched by like someone who's still pretty small compared to you, but if you know that you hit them back, then you're going to get beaten the fuck out of by 100 Mike Tysons. You're not going to do much. Otherwise, it's suicide. I actually have some level of respect for the Iranian guy who didn't run, like the guy who got blown up. He could have left at any time. A coward leaves. It's the same story of Hitler dying in the bunker. Like that's like whether it's he died in the bunker, he shot himself, or he might have been killed down there. However it run, that's bravery. Like even suicide is more brave than running away because you're the boss. Like everyone fought for you, and then you're just gonna leave. Like you're gonna flee after you've lost, but everyone's fought for you. If you're the boss, like your guys are fighting for you. They're not really fighting for any other reason because you yourself could surrender. That's the pressure of the boss. Like the boss knows that at any time he could surrender, and maybe there's a chance that his army won't be destroyed. So he's kind of has to fight to the last man of himself. Like he can't just disappear. That this shit will unite Muslims, like real ones, not the not the LARPing ones. There's a fucking lot of that. There's a lot of greedy money Muslims now that aren't even Muslims. Like just why? Just because they say they are. That doesn't mean shit. There's a lot of, I would believe, Zionists in disguise and that sort of a term. Like there's a lot. They worship money and they hide under the guise of, I have this and I wear this shield when I want and then I pull it away, but they're just greedy fucking bastards. Similar to the Christian Zionists, like they're just the same. There's a lot of that turning point movement and things like that, as I've said before. That's all Zionist movement. But there's a lot of that are actually Muslims. Like I've fucking observed it. Just because they say they're that way and then they worship money, like they fucking worship it. And then they tell you that money doesn't matter, but they're fucking greedy as fuck. There's a lot of that. Like there really is a lot of that. There's a real power struggle to be the one that is leading these Muslim movements as well. Like there's a real power struggle to be like the influencer who can lead the Muslims around. And the one who isn't even really a traditional one. Like the traditional ones and shit, they're not on fucking streams. Like Muslims are naturally very conservative. Like they're not really streaming. They don't like a lot of attention. They're like old school. So, I mean, there's a big collision in that era. Like you will live to see a time where they're trying to separate Islam from Muslims. Like they're trying to separate the two. These are bad Muslims. Like this Islam stuff is bad and the others are good. These are violent cavemen and these ones are good. I saw it when they did the Muslim Brotherhood shit. Everything bad happens and it's now the Muslim Brotherhood and they're all bad and this and that. That's not good. And also they'll be penetrated because a lot of the guys who are kind of, the ones who people look to for guidance and things like that, like everyone works for money. And a lot of the ones who do the right thing and they're actually like practicing Muslims, they wouldn't be incentivized to be the one who wants to be the leader and all that shit, like leading a public movement. Like they wouldn't do it. It's different if they're government royalty because they're born into that. But it takes a certain person to be like, all right, I'm a conservative Muslim, but now I want all this clout and I want all this attention and I want all of this money. A lot of them wouldn't do that. Like it's not really in their nature because I've known thousands of them over the times. They're usually like pretty old school. It's not really their style to jump on and be streaming. So you have to be careful of a lot of who can lead those movements, very similar to who can lead a Christian movement because they want to lead it off a cliff. They want to move Muslims into becoming Zionists and they want to move Christians into becoming Zionists and they want to merge to a one religion. They want to worship what's to come next. Like they want you all worshiping the beast. You best believe that. So they're going to restructure it as though Islam and like, the Iranian, they're cavemen. That's what they're going to say. They're like backwards. That doesn't fit in the world. One is bad, one is good. Because like, understand this. If you're like a traditional Muslim and things like that, I can't really control you. Like if I have a lot of money and I have a lot of power, I give you OnlyFans and shit like that. If you don't buy it at my tools, then I have to get you in love with money. Like I have to get you to search for external validation. If your validation only comes from Allah and the Quran, I can't influence you really at all. I need to get you to separate that. I need to get you obsessed with money, women, pussy. I got to give you my tricks because then when you have my tricks, now I can control you again. I can't control the person who lives by the Quran. Like, I can't. If I'm big corpos, I have no influence. I need to get you obsessed with clout, money, sex, women, fucking all of those vices, like weed. I need to get you into that. Like, how do I get you into it? Because you're pretty, like, you're quite restricted what it is that you do. How am I going to break that mindset? And they will break that mindset. Like, you best believe that. The easiest way to get people is women and then worshipping money. These Muslims are good, the others are bad. Money is good. Money is good to a point, of course. Everyone wants to have enough to live, but the worship of money is not. There's nothing in the Quran about that. There's nothing in the Bible about that. Money is the root of all evil. Not the root of it as though not having enough and all of that. Having enough to live, but when you're obsessed with it, it's a big problem. But if you're living by the Quran as you're living by the Bible, I have no influence on you. Like, I can't get you in my vices. Vices, and they're the tools. Like, the snare of the devil is the vice, lust, money, clout, fame, attention, fucking validation from the external. Because I control the external. Now I can put the cheese down and you come running in for it, and now I can affect you. I can't affect you if you live by the framework of the Quran or the Bible or anything like that, because you don't have any. I don't have anything that you need. I need to get you needing the shit that I can print and give you. I have an unlimited amount of fiat, an unlimited amount of nice cars and all that. I can print all of those. That's how I can snare you, and then I can control you, and then I can also control your cause. Like that. That's inevitably going to happen. That's how you corrupt a movement. You can't corrupt a movement from the outside. You have to get inside the person. They have to want it. That's why they have all of their really tight restrictions and shit, same as the Bible. Like, I realize the older that I get, a lot of those Mormons and like fucking Jehovah's Witnesses and shit like that I used to think when I was younger are dumbasses, and they're too, like, they're too crazy and too obsessed with the religion and all of that, too restricted. I realized that a lot of the ideas and things that they had are probably quite good. Do I believe in all of their terms and all of that? But I mean, on impact to the world, like they're not really hurting people. They're not really having a big impact on others. They're more focused on their own shit. And that's a thing. US just did a test BTC transaction. Fuck. It's going to get lower, is it? I believe that it will. I think that we'll go to like, I believe, though, remember that I think that probably in the next 72 hours, there's going to be a mass casualty event. I think it's quite likely. I think it's very likely. So I would expect that. I would also be expecting that if I'm in a big public event or a public place and I know that there's a lot of people around, people are very volatile at the moment. Not just volatile in that you might be stabbed to death by someone who might be upset with what's happening in Iran, but people in general are just volatile. Like, they're volatile at the moment. People are under a lot of pressure. So watch out for tonight. I would just be watching out for where your energy goes, and don't be upset to don't fall for the bravado of people being like, you're a pussy if you're afraid of this. I get afraid sometimes. Some things scare me. It's the truth of it. It's what you do with it that matters. Like, a person that, like, again, if you want to feel the full spectrum of emotions, like, feeling and being afraid is normal. It's what you do with it. Like, some things happen and you're scared, but it's what you're going to do with it. Are you going to freeze up and not do anything? Or are you going to feel the moment and still do what you have to do? Being a robot is not like the course of life, because then you're not going to feel the highs, the lows, but you're also going to have a hard time loving anything. That's damage. Like, people like to fantasize about having PTSD for some reason. I mean, I've spent 14 months in a veterans hospital for PTSD. It's not glamorous. Like, a lot of the guys with PTSD, they would give anything to feel normal and actually feel things again. And then the people who don't have it try and traumatize themselves because they can't deal with the emotions as they come up. So you feel that the hardest thing for a man is to live the full spectrum of emotions. It's hard to love. It's harder to love and lose something than it is to get beaten up in a boxing gym. That's easy. Like physical pain, men are very good with physical pain. Men are very bad with emotional pain. Like that's the truth of the matter. It hurts much more to be dumped or cheated on than it hurts to lose a boxing match. And it's easier to just shell up and be like, "Oh, I don't care anymore," than it is to just deal with it and then move forward in a positive way and actually learn the lesson from it rather than just close off. Because a lot of things happen with guys, they just disconnect their heart and their head. They're just disconnected all of the time. And they think that that's like being stoic or like, being strong for some reason. And then they have kids and things like that, and they just pass the same patterns down. Their kid doesn't give a shit about anything. They're like passing down autism essentially, or Asperger's, like they're passing down the same symptom. It's true. Like all of that stuff, you have to learn how to deal with it as it comes up and not letting it overwhelm you. Because again, disconnecting where you short circuit, that means that it's actually overwhelmed you. Like if you connect your heart and your head, your brain doesn't trust that you won't actually do something to yourself. Like it's easier to be disconnected. The saying is true. It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. It's true. What a shallow world if we don't love and care about anything. I understand when they do this, like, these new streamers and things where they run around and they're looks maxing and things like that. It's because they're creating the mouse experiment. What is it? Universe 2050 or whatever it is, where they put a bunch of mice in like a circular area and they put them very congested. So they built like communities and things for them, but they made it very dense so that there wasn't a lot of room for them. And they found that some of the mice started to withdraw and like got obsessed with like hygiene and like looking after themselves and all of these things. And they called them the pretty ones, and they didn't reproduce. And they actually, some of them turned gay, and they didn't reproduce at all. And the population itself collapsed. Like that's what's happening with these looks max ideas and things like that. That's what happens if you spend too much time with yourself. Like I'll tell you a secret of life. If you spend too much time studying yourself and looking at yourself and you stare at the puddle too long, you get lost. Like you love yourself, but you can never love yourself too much. It's the truth of the matter. But it's also great if you're, essentially to control a population, because people like that won't fight. Something happens that they won't do shit because they're too important and they can't work as a team. People like that, they can't. Their life is too important. The greatest part of it, like, essentially what would stop you from government oppression is that you can work as a team. So if I can connect you to focus more on yourself, then if something happens, you're not going to be able to connect together and actually do anything. You're going to stay a bunch of individual. The enemy of the government is the collective. The government wants nothing but individuals. It wants you alone. It wants you. That's why when you see these red pill guys, or you see guys jump on and tell you that women are the enemy and they're bad and you got to stay alone and separated, that's the corpo agenda. That's why they're so promoted. Because they want you sitting at home jerking off to OnlyFans with a robot girlfriend at best, but probably just dating some chick online, like an AI image. And that's all digital products. They're making a fortune on it. And you don't reproduce, like you're out of the way. You're alone all the time. So if something happens, when someone's alone, you can push them very hard. Like you can really torment and torture a person when they're on their own because nothing can happen. Like you have 100 million individuals, whereas if you had 100 million people combined, you can't do much. Like you can't do shit. Like the US itself can't do a thing if the people decide to be like, I've had enough. The whole country would fall. But it's best that you have a bunch of people separated. That's why they have these race wars and like race ideas and things like that. They need to tell you that you're very different. You are different. Like, I mean, it's obvious they have different cultures and things like that, but you're both people and both oppressed. Like black and white people are both very oppressed in the world. Black people are more oppressed in that they have more like there's more of a stigma to being black in the community. Like I mean, if people can say they have more negative stereotypes around them, I believe. I think that that's pretty true, especially in the US, because they've been pushed propaganda for very long. Like they've been pushed very refined rap propaganda for a very long time. And understand that the rap budgets, yeah, I'm in streaming as well. So I know, I own a streaming company. The budget that used to go into rappers, you understand this, they used to fund a lot of rappers to destroy the community. Now they fund streamers. Streaming is the new rap. Like that's true. The rap contracts went to streamers now, and they just push you still similar, very refined propaganda. Not all of them. Some of them do good things, but a lot of the content that just goes viral is very toxic for you. You need to look at who's funding a lot of these projects as well. You need to look at who funds your favorite streamers and things like that as well, and why. Who created them? Streamers are created by just essentially you have the attention tap, you turn it on and give them money and push the money behind it. Because once you promote one certain type of an idea and make it viral and also fund them well, others emulate it. So it's just natural, like people will copy it. That's how you can craft society. Like that's how you move culture. It's the truth of the matter. Like that's what they're doing. They're controlling people via that sort of content that it is that they watch. They used to do it through rap, and now rap's not like rap is. I mean, I would assume that the budget for rap they've dropped like 80 or 90% of the actual cash and just given it to streamers instead. They get more of a value out of it. I know because hiring streamers is not cheap. It's the truth of it. So, what do I like Asia so far? Trying looking to move. I think Asia is good. I think Asia is good too. I'm in Hong Kong now. I'll be frank. It's not cheap here. But if you want to live in like Southeast Asia while you build your money up and essentially, build an online skill or build something like that, I think that there's a lot of merit there. I think Thailand and Asia is quite good. How about Thailand, like Bangkok, as someone making money through an online business? I think it's good. I think they're quite neutral. They don't have a lot of problems. I was in Bangkok recently. I like it. I think it's a good spot. I think it's nice. Would you rather be poor in Oz or the USA? I don't know because I haven't spent a lot of time in the USA. I don't mind the Australia. See, Australia is bad because I believe the government and things like that can be oppressive, and some of the rules and laws can be arbitrary. Like, I don't want to get too far into it, but some of the laws, I don't know, these laws can be around DV, coercive control. Like, that can mean many things. I've known guys getting in trouble for like sexual assault complaints that are like 8 years ago or something like that. Like, how do you defend yourself from that? Like, imagine that you meet a girl 7 or 8 years ago, and then you have sex, and then she turns around and says, "Oh, I don't know, I was too drunk to consent." But like 7 or 8 years has gone by. You might not remember it very clearly. Like, how do you even defend yourself? If they have said something the week or the month after or something, you could defend yourself because your mind is like, okay, I can remember this, and this is where I was. But if you're trying to put it all together from charges that are very long ago, you're going to be at a massive disadvantage. I think they did it with Russell Brand. I'm not speculating if he's innocent or not. I know nothing about it, but I think they got him from like charges from like 10 years ago or something. It's very hard to defend yourself from allegations that are that far in the past because you won't really remember. Like, you might remember meeting the person, but you're not going to remember the particulars. And her vision of the time might also be distorted because time changes it as well. It might be worse or better, but it changes. It's very hard to defend yourself. It's hard to have witnesses and shit. Like, some of them might be dead. Like, it's 10 years has passed. How do you know that? Like, you might have, I know that I wasn't there because I was with this person, but they're gone, or you don't talk to them anymore. How are you going to actually be able to defend yourself? Or you call a person, and you're like, can you verify that I was with you 12 years ago? And they're like, I don't remember. I don't know. So you can be fucked in that way. That's the case of it. Petrol will become scarce to a point people will scream for electric cars to prevent tyrannical suppliers controlling the market. I think Elon will save everyone. It's possible, but the technology isn't there yet for Tesla to save everyone. I think it's likely that Elon Musk will be the savior. I believe that it's likely that I'll tell you guys a secret or a story. I think that it's likely that as Elon Musk himself gets older, eventually he'll form some level of a rocket, and he'll be like maybe like 10 years into the future or something like that. And he'll become like one of those kooks, and then he'll talk a bunch of people to going on a rocket trip with him to Mars or something like that, because he'll say that the world is finished, kind of like Noah's Ark. And people will go out on the rocket and it won't be as they expected. Like, it would be a very bad decision to do that. That shit will happen because he's like, it's a prophecy. He has to do it. You never want to be going on any trips into outer space or anything like that. Like, none of those like kook trips or anything like that. A lot of that shit, people will have a bad end under those sort of things. But remember this story, like the saying of it's been talked about a lot. I mean, you see the Vatican, right? You see the chair that the Pope sits on. They say the Antichrist will rise out of a nuclear blast. I saw that they've documented that the guy who just died, the supreme leader, and Netanyahu and Trump were all three of them, the three that are fighting today or recently, were born during a solar eclipse. They said the rarity is like to be like 1 in a million or more. That actually that happened and that they're all presidents. Although all the boss one was and he's gone now. The shit is just like understand like astrology and all of that stuff and like that shit is real. Like I know that people turn around and say that there's nothing there, but there's a lot there. Like it's obvious. The elites believe it, so therefore they make it real. But they understand the moon, they understand the cycles, and they understand all of that shit like at a level that's just unbelievable. Something will happen. Like I mean, they said it before. They've said it a lot of times. The Antichrist will be born out of a nuclear blast. I believe that that is true as well. All that shit matters. Like when you're smashed together, as I've said before, like when you actually arrive, everything matters. Even down to how the fucking planets are, everything that's lined up, all of the stars, all that shit does matter. Like you arrive, you're made of the same stuff. Even if you believe that you're birthed, you're like, of course it all matters. Like why would it not matter? Everything matters. Like nothing is a mistake. Like nothing is just everything matters. Like even the micro, it's the same story. Like as above, so below. What happens on the micro happens on the macro. People don't know that. There's degeneracy at the bottom and there's absolute degeneracy at the top. It's the same. The crackhead at the bottom with the crack pipe has the same problem as the guy who's a billionaire. He might not have the crack pipe, but he has other like shit that's just as toxic. It's the same story. Thoughts on aliens? Do the conspiracy theorists have it wrong that we have been visited? I don't believe in aliens. I have a theory that essentially I believe that aliens themselves are like demons. I think they'll normalize it because eventually demons will come in like a sort of a solid form. I think they already are. Like, you know, essentially, I believe that. So when you have these ideas of like, when they talk about the Epstein logs and like people are eating people or eating pizzas of flesh or eating things like that, it dehumanizes you. It brings you closer to Satan. Like you can get possessed under certain ideas. I don't believe you can be possessed all of the time, but the more that you do these sort of shit that distances you from God, like it pulls the soul out of your body. That's the goal. Like eating people or like, you know, hurting kids or the more like shit that's immoral, like the more deeper and deeper you go down that trench, Dante's Inferno, the closer that you are to Satan. And that's the goal. Like that's the goal of a lot of this shit. The further that you slip away from God, like you need to spit in his face a bunch of times. That's generally what they do. The people normalizing Epstein, like I really don't believe that Epstein's dead. I've said that pretty much from day one. I don't believe that he's dead. I believe that they'll use the Epstein logs and the information they have to kill the old system of government. They have all of the a lot of your government leaders doing atrocious shit. They just don't release it. It's not the you know the Fed or whatever it is. What is it? The FBI or the DOJ releasing the documents. It's not them. They don't even know what's coming. It's not. They're not in charge of that specific area. They don't have the images and the videos and shit. That someone else has it. Some other group. And they release it whenever the fuck they want. And eventually, I would believe that once your politicians and shit are no longer useful, they'll burn them all and burn down the old system with the Epstein logs. That's why they exist. Understand the Epstein logs exist. So the Epstein files exist, and how they're written is written for you to read. I've said it before. That's the only reason that they're written in that way. Like, oh, yeah, Jeff, are we going to go and eat this person today? And like, are we going to bring Bill Gates with us? And we're going to like, you know, fuck a few Russians. Like, it's written in a way that you're meant to read it. They could have had code names. They could have done it a million times. He was an expert with the agency and shit like that. I mean, he could have easily gotten better applications than to just be sending raw email messages from Jeffrey Epstein, 1901. That's all. That's the psyop. The emails are real, but they were written for you to read because you're going to hate all your politicians by the time that they're done with all of them. By the time they're done in the Middle East, they don't need your government anymore. The US is going to be the most cooked in the long run of all of this story. The US is going to be run by people who aren't even Americans. The only thing that holds the structure of the US together is that you have your guns, and they're going to eventually, I would believe, try to get them off you. That's the only thing that holds the US together. Don't fall for any of that tricks. It doesn't matter what side you're on. You can be a liberal or a Republican, but don't get rid of your guns. Like, it's never worked well for anyone who has. Same thing. Like, imagine that, like Gaddafi, others. As soon as you nukes are the only thing that keeps these countries existing. Like Venezuela, places like that. Like the US can just pull up and just take your boss out. Then you're fucked. The only countries that are like, immune to that is the nuke, because they're like, maybe even if there's a 5% chance that they deploy a nuke and it hits a neighboring country, we can't risk that. Also, we can't really risk, like, even if they fire a nuke and they can't really risk that Iran nukes itself, because it can damage a lot of the like environment and society around it. Like fallout and shit can go around for ages and last for a very, very, very long time. That's why they have tactical nukes now. They're like kind of like a mini nuke in Fallout. It's the same sort of shit. They can structure them much better, which is what they'll do in this specific moment. They won't do an attack where they're just going to drop it above, like, a city, and they let it burst like on the top of the city, so it just flattens the whole place. They'll do a very strategic one where they'll probably drill it into the ground and do a bunch of shit, and it'll just be for a specific impact. But it'll change the whole world. Like, I believe likely in the next 3 days or this month, they'll, nukes, maybe it's 20% chance or 40% chance or something. But it'll change the whole game, because then everyone else's defense spending will go parabolic. The cost to rebuild Iran and like rebuild whatever it is that they damage will be parabolic. Someone has to pay for it. The one who pays for it and fixes it will have access to the area as well. Like, the military spending now is going to be expensive as fuck, because the Russia's like, holy shit. Like, Russia's the most cocked out of this of all. Like, Russia has stood there and said, "Oh, we got our ally in Venezuela. He's dead. Nothing happened. We got our ally in Iran. He's dead. Nothing happened. We got our ally. Where's next? North Korea. He's dead. Nothing happened." Like, they can do whatever the fuck they want. They've realized that. The US can do whatever it is that they want, because they have the best technology, and nuclear weapons are like, unless the US is using it in history, they're the only ones that have ever nuked someone. The other countries are pragmatic, like they're peacemakers. They like to focus on business and focus on themselves. Like, I don't believe Putin wants to nuke another country and like have 1 million dead bodies on his conscience. I don't believe he's that sort of person. It takes a very fucked up person to nuke another country, because you know that you're just killing civilians for the most part. And not only that, it destroys that country. Like, it really does. I mean, for what, decades, kids can be born with like one arm and shit. Like, there's a lot of mutations and shit that can happen after a nuke. People can not die, and then you're in like excruciating cancers and shit a few years after. Like, you can get really fucked up from the radiation. It does a lot of damage. Destroys all the water, it destroys all the crops. Like, it can be, you can't plant anything for like 20 years. All the soil is fucked. It can do a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. Yeah, the US, like, understand when they talk about using like Claude and Anthropic and like OpenAI, US has access to AI that is unexplainable. Like, people think like this shit with Ukraine and things like that. This is just a US strategic chess match. Like, they've played the whole thing like a fiddle. They wanted Russia bogged down in Ukraine, so that obviously they wanted them bogged down in Ukraine. Then they could start going to all of these spots and stealing all of these minerals. The US spawned one day and realized that at first they didn't care that China controlled 80% of the rare earths of the world. They didn't care. Like, US is building Belt and Road, or China's building the Belt and Road, so they can actually move their minerals around and actually refine them down. And then suddenly minerals mattered, like, because with AI components, chips, their defense shit uses a lot of silver. They use a lot of it in circuitry as well. A lot of other critical earths like lithium and a bunch of other stuff. They need batteries. They need a lot of this, like graphite, palladium. They need a lot of this shit. And China controlled 80% of the rare earth elements in the world, and they were starting to actually have access to move them around with Belt and Road. The US didn't care. Like for a very long time, we don't care about any of that shit, whatever have you things. And then they click that they need a lot of it for these components and circuitry and things like that as it progressed. And now they need to catch it all quickly. Like we need to get access to all of this fast. How do we get it all back quickly? Do you know Iran has it's like is the biggest lithium deposits in the world? Like, do you know Iran itself has some of the most rare earths in the world? Like that's why they're there as well. They're there because they deal with the old government, and the old government is likely moving that shit to China, and the US wants control of those elements. Like they want control of those earths. They are very important, specifically into the future, because they know that there's more shit that they'll need them for in the future, so they have to control them. And if the old government won't give you access to them, well, then they need to get rid of them. And a lot of their like rigid, again, these Quran and Muslim, like the real ones, they don't capitulate. Like they can't be bought. Like you can't buy them with cash. You can't buy them with pussy. Like they don't care. They're about the Quran. Like they actually follow it. They don't just pretend to follow it. They actually follow it. So it's very hard to get them to like it's very hard to get that sort of shit. Like it's very hard to actually take control of them. So you can't just like, and again, it's hard to get them in a honeypot or anything like that. Like he's not flying to Epstein Island. Like it's really hard to get them in the shit because their rigid beliefs and their framework keeps them out of trouble. I'm not saying all of it because there's parts of the shit that I don't agree with. But as a rule, their framework, like it's a predictable framework that's very rigid. They don't change. Like they're that way. So it's very hard to corrupt them. Like it's quite difficult. So that's the sort of shit that it is that they have to kind of get around, right? But now they have. Like the US has pulled up in Venezuela, taken those oil reserves. No one said shit. Then they took 0 casualties. I mean, there's a part of the Epstein logs, right, where they think Manjuro might have been a Fed asset, like a CIA asset already, and that he just kind of just signed over it, but he was already owned by them. But like they're in terms of intelligence, and Israel is intelligence with Israel is probably the best in the world. Like Israel is a small like country where they don't have a big military or anything like that, but their intelligence services and how they are able to do what they do is like it's world class. Like they're in my view, like Mossad and things like that, they're the best intelligence service in the world. I don't think they're the best soldiers at all, but they're the best intelligence service. Like they're the best at I don't know, like exploitation of people and like the psychology game. They're the best at it. Like they appeal to people's like their evil side. They catch them in honeypots like they seem to extremely well. They don't really seem to have the morals and ethics to do shit that is like completely rough. Like furthering Israel is just their main objective, and I don't think that they really care about anything else. If it means like stomping on a bunch of people, they'll just do it. They don't give a shit. What are some gaps do you think is worthwhile to go into with these global situations transpiring and all of this AI stuff? I was thinking of architecting off-grid cabins. That's a cool idea. Architecting off-grid cabins is cool. I would like to find. I think that there would be an area to find like areas and things that people might want into the future, and then kind of build a project like that. Or you could get kits or something like that. I've thought about a cabin off-grid would be cool even for me. I'll tell you guys a secret for me. I've even been thinking about getting a bit off grid for the next year. I'm tired of being in a big city. I'm sick of it. I don't really want to be in a big city for a while. So I don't think that I will be in a big city. I think that I'm going to lock myself in an area for the next 12 months. Maybe I won't even tell people where I am. I'll be online, but I might, take a bit of time away. Because all of this shit isn't for me. Like running around and like, I don't know, flexing on people and shit like that. I'm tired of that. Like I'm 40 years old. I'm 40 years old. I'm too old to really be running around the club. Too old to be running around in Tinder. I don't enjoy it. Like I don't enjoy being some like lost fucking monster running around and thinking with my cock or like, flexing on people or trying to be validated because people think that I'm cool because I have money or something. I don't really. I'm kind of tired of that stuff. Like you grow out of that shit, or I would hope so. So I want to do some more for me, like get closer to God, see family more. I don't want to say preparing for the end of times, but it's possible. Like I'm not saying the end of times as though the world's going to end tomorrow, but you're certainly moving through a filter where your time now is probably time that you should actually enjoy yourself. Doesn't mean that you're not working hard. Doesn't mean you're not doing things, but it's still nice to be out in nature and actually be out of like a concrete jungle and shit like that. Because I believe that there's going to be plenty of time to do that into the future. So it'll be nice to get around nature and places like that. That's my goal. Do I think double in COVID in regards to US spending? Yes. That's my idea. I believe this month they'll nuke something. Something will be nuked or some mass catastrophe will happen that'll justify a massive amount of spending. Because it's not just that, like again, the same thing. If you're UAE, if you're other countries, now you've had drones, the locals will be like, we need better we need like a golden dome, we need better setup. All of that stuff will cost a lot of money. No, I don't believe that there'll be a full scale World War III. But I think like if you see this shit that's happened in Iran and Russia and China don't intervene, the US is going to see this now in the AI and all of these. Like they're running these models. So I mean, before they go into any of these places, they'll be running like all of these tests through AI. What's going to happen? It gives them more data. Like there's I don't want to be, obviously I'm in Hong Kong and things like that, and I have the beliefs that I have, but there's no way that anyone will beat the US. They can't. Like the US and Israel are born to bring about the Battle of Armageddon. Like nothing can stop what's coming in that regard. That's why they exist. US itself, like there's a reason the country is in the position that it's in, like in the world, they're positioned in an area to dominate. It's not just that, it's there's a level of divinity, like there's a level of God at play with that sort of stuff, like how the history has gone, like World War II, it ends the way that it ends. Israel is birthed. Like Palestine, like no one really gives a shit about Palestine. Like no one cares that a lot of them are dying. There's a lot of laws around controlling speech. So if people are to say that there's certain things happening in Palestine and things like that, they can go to prison. That sort of stuff will catch up. Like that'll get a lot worse. There'll be like gulags for people who are anti-Semitic, like in their own country. Like there really will be. You can't talk shit about that group. Like you can't. You can talk shit about anything else, but you can't. You can't because a lot of those people are people who actually matter. Like you can laugh and joke and things, but when you go before a judge and the judge is a Jew, or the lawyers are Jewish, or like you have an issue and like your favorite ministers are lobbied by the same people, like then you realize that I'm fucked here. Like there's a reason why a lot of influencers and things like that. That's the one line that they won't mess around with. You can't fuck around with those people because I mean it's like I see it because I know like I've been doing fundraising and things like that for Soulstick TV, and I realized that you can't fuck around with those people. Like those people control a lot of the stuff that matters. Not only that, they control the money and the attention tap. That's valuable, and then also at a minister level, if you go through court or something like that, you'll be smashed. It's the truth of the matter. Before I log off, ETH under 2K, would it be a good time to buy some? And do you think BTC will all-time high by summer or mid-2026? Not by summer. No, not by summer. Not by mid-2026. We won't have an all-time high now, sadly. I think likely we will capitulate into April. April, May will bottom. Maybe we bottom at like 40K, 45. And then I think there'll be a lot of coins will change hands from 60K to 80K. Like we can crab there till like September, October. And then I believe that we'll be on the road to recovery. And I think Q1 2027 will be in an all-time high. But this has fucked us up. Maybe at the end of the year, like December or something, we could be close. But this has fucked the whole cycle up. Do I think in case things escalate, the first wave of people to go to war will be those who criticize certain groups? Yes. I understand that if they're to do a enlistment, where they force you to enlist, a conscription, whatever it is that they do, essentially they pull your number out of a hat. If you've been an anti-Semitic, your number will be the one that gets pulled out. And you'll be like, I don't know why like so many of us are gone, but that's the truth of it. It'll seem non-biased, but it'll be entirely biased. And any of your data, anything that you've posted on X, anything you've searched in ChatGPT, anything you've searched in Grok, anything that you've searched in the AI or written about yourself, that's already documented. So anything that you've talked to about the AI, maybe you've like, I don't know, talked to it as a friend or something, that then whatever it is that you've talked about, it's built a profile around who you are. It's the truth of the matter. What do I think the connection between Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse but being the same colors of Palestine and Middle East flags? Yeah, well, I mean, everything rises out of the Middle East. It's just the nature of it. Is it smarter at this point to just avoid not saying anything super personal or opinionated? I don't want to say to be selling out. Like I don't want to say. I wish that I didn't have to tell you that, that you couldn't be yourself, but you can't. Like I don't want to tell you that there's no, like Santa Claus isn't delivering you a bunch of presents, but he's not, unfortunately. And what you say online will really hurt you later. Understand that in the future. So this idea is that so eventually everything plays out, Revelations plays out, whatever. Mark of the Beast does arrive. Eventually, this timing will, in my view, everything flips like a switch. Like once you either sell your soul or you don't. And then the ones who will be offered to stick around in a virtual paradise, like your consciousness and your consciousness and your soul are very connected. Like it's arguable that they might be the same thing. And then you'll be able to upload your consciousness in a VR system, like via a BCI, because these brain computer interfaces, they'll be here in like 10 or 15 or 20 years. Like they'll be here at scale. So you have a brain computer interface in, like a Neuralink, or they'll have better by then. And you'll have your Neuralink in, and you'll be connected via Starlink all the time. Like everyone will be connected together, and there'll be a form of a collective consciousness. Like there'll be an agreed upon group thing. You won't have to talk. Like once BCIs take off, we won't have this conversation like this. We can all be together in the same room with just this guy. There's no talking. Like it's like telepathy is real. BCI will change the whole world. Like all that shit will change. It's this small now, but 10, 15, 20 years from now it'll be massive. But your consciousness will be uploaded into a system, and you can live forever in VR. Like that's what will come. You'll be offered a solution to live in a pain-free system, because life itself will get painful for a lot of people. Your tolerance to pain will decrease as well. BCI units and things like that, they'll eventually have like, so imagine your emotions that you have now where you can feel happy, sad, whatever. They'll put a paywall on that. Like when BCIs and things become a big thing, they'll have a paywall on your emotions. So you'll be able to pay to feel good and pay to do certain things, but also they'll be able to actually make you feel bad. As with everything, like they want to put a paywall on everything in BCIs, they really will. Your dreams and things will disappear. Some people probably realize they're dreaming much less now than they used to. Your imagination will go. Your imagination should be that you sit around from time to time and you still think about, try to keep your imagination going, because imagination is infinite. Imagination is a massive cheat code. That's how you can manifest things. Your imagination is the first to go. Sometimes it's just like you're sitting in bed or something and you try to imagine what someone that's important to you looks like. Still remember, because it's easy to forget. Like some people just close their eyes and they can't even imagine anything. That's like a goy brain. Like your brain is cooked into those ideas. You have to start to imagine things again, because how are you ever going to imagine that life can be better? Like you're not going to think big enough. You're going to be stuck. Been feeling myself becoming detached from Judaism recently and leaning towards Christ. Weirdest feeling ever. What to do now as I feel torn. I'm not I'm not trying to get people to come over to Christ, because it's not my job. I believe that Christ comes to people at the right time. There's a lot of mercy in Christianity or dealing with Jesus and things like that. So yeah, I think that you need to have a talk to him. I don't know the answers for that. And I'm also not a recruiter. Like, I'll never recruit people over to Christ because that's not my job. I really don't like that idea. Like, people are having a vulnerable moment and you try to convert them into what it is that you're doing. It would be arguable the devil's work, really. Like, you're pushing them in an area that they probably didn't, they're not meant to go down. They have to find it themselves. Yeah, it's true. I asked you a few months ago, why do I dream of how life would be if I did things right in the past? Turns out it was my future. It's true. Everything exists at once. Like, your past, present, and future all at once, because everything is real from via retrocausality. Like, the future is actually building out the past. I believe that it's likely that there's the beast from the future and he's actually building out himself. It's because, so imagine like, we imagine like the devil or Satan or something like that is he has this big personal agenda with you. Like, he hates you, he wants to destroy you. But he's, in my view, he's just checks and balances. Like, his attempter, Satan is never going to come to you and be like, worship me or I'm going to blow your brains out. It's not going to be like that, as it won't be to get the mark of the beast. He won't force you. There'll be an option. There may be a lot of benefits. There may be a lot of perks. It may feel good to be a degenerate. Like, shooting up drugs all day probably feels amazing. But he never puts that shit in your arms. Like, he doesn't do it for you. He shows you a certain path, but he doesn't walk you. He doesn't push you down it. You have to choose it. Free will is massive. I believe, yeah, the Rocco's basilisk theory is true. That's why I also believe Rocco's basilisk. I believe it's connected to the Bitcoin chain. Incentivized expansion, and those who know about it and actually, push for its expansion or push for furthering the idea of Bitcoin are rewarded largely in this life, even down to what Ross Ulbricht, where they got him out of prison. That shit doesn't just happen. Like, why would he get a pardon? It's unusual. What's my opinion on the drone attacks in Dubai? I've said it before. I believe that if you're there and you obviously can't leave because everything's closed, just have a plan. Have a plan. What can you do? I wouldn't be running around and saying everything's great. And I also wouldn't be running around saying everything's bad, because the truth is in the middle. You just have to be aware of what's happening. Your chances of getting killed in a drone strike are incredibly low, like 0.0000001% of a chance. But your position of that escalating there to missile strikes or something is maybe like 5 or 10%. That's the truth of the matter. I need to stay off the glass. I mean, I haven't even touched drugs in almost 1 year. That's the nature of it. The funny thing is, like, anyone who has any free thought is, considered to be taking drugs. But some of the people who have the best thoughts actually take a lot of drugs. Do you know, like the Altmans of the world, he abuses sleepers and is open about it. The Musk of the world, he abuses ketamine. The guys who have just done things in the world obviously think from a different lens. And vice is, understand that being a genius or being like uniquely intelligent is often attached to a vice, because you see things from a different perspective than others do. That's how you actually can innovate things to build something that doesn't exist. Innovation is tied to madness. That's why the ones who actually create the world that people are living in are in fact mad, and you see them and they're crazy. Their life is not something that you yourself would want to live, but they've created the technology and the infrastructure that you yourself are stuck in. They built the control system. Like, that's the truth. I mean, you look to these sort of people and they're the ones that design the reality that you're affected by. So as much as people say that those people are not achievers and they have kooks, I mean, they build a lot of the shit that you use every day. So that's the saying of the world. I mean, I could name an endless amount of them that have, abused substances and built the very things that you yourself use and know about. That's well documented, right? What's my opinion on the end game? If we see the Bible play out in real time, the God wins no matter what it is the world cooked. Well, I mean, the congruency funnel of Christ is generally that you're martyred, right? There's no like he flips the switch and rides in on the horse and everything's over. I believe that the final saying of a guy is the martyr. I think that the final showing of the Christian is the guillotine. Because if you don't sell your soul, like if you're, I believe in Christ and, I believe in the Bible and I'm not going to capitulate. Like I won't. What do you think's going to happen in like 30 or 40 years from now? At first, they'll get you to capitulate gently by offering you incentives. And then if you don't, you'll be punished. And then if you don't again, you'll probably be killed. Like that really is the truth of the matter. If you don't capitulate, like again, the mark of the beast, CBDCs, digital credit, digital scores, social credit, Christians are on a decay. You're pushed to a Zionist Christian movement. You'll be pushed to a Zionist movement of the Muslims as well. And if you don't capitulate, like what, you think that they're just going to leave you alone? If you don't get a BCI unit, do you think that you're just going to be left alone to sit in some shack somewhere? You need to understand that they're coming for everyone. They're coming for the loud people first, but they're coming for everyone. There's no sitting in the shack and being left alone. There's not. There's not. It's something for 5 or 10 years or 20 maybe, but not for a lifetime. You have to participate in the world. Like you can't hide from what's to come. You can't sit in the basement because you will be affected by it. I saw that they have technology now where if you're sitting and you have the Wi-Fi on, they can detect where you are in the room and post an exact video of where you are based on the Wi-Fi bouncing around the room. They know where you are all of the time. That's connected to a computer, so likely if AI has at a singularity, it knows where people are all of the time. It has a collective pool of people and knows where people are and what they're doing all of the time. If it's access, can access everything that you already have, phones, everything, all of the data that exists on you. It knows who you are. I mean, but also the same thing, like the mark of the beast can be a BCI unit. It can be one of these quantum dots that Bill Gates has been pushing through. It's like a quantum dot. It's like it gets implanted into you and they can give you like vaccines and things through it as well. He's been furthering for that sort of study. He's furthered for so you can mine Bitcoin with your body activity. That's another one. Crypto mine's another idea that essentially you can mine it with your brain. Calories of your brain cells is another, like your brain activity. There's a lot of ways that they're going to be merging tech with you. That's the next progression of tech. Like tech needs to enter you, and it will. It'll enter you though because you can't compete. Like if you don't get a BCI or a Neuralink, you can't compete with others who can. If you don't use AI because you don't want to, you can't compete. You can't compete with businesses that use AI at scale. I can't either. I realized that way too late. My group and things like that, I've let the members go down, and then it has dropped a fair bit because I didn't use AI. I hired people and I didn't want to fire anyone. So I kept my staff, and it cost me a lot of money to keep a lot of people when I need to scale them out into AI and pay, like I'm paying a few grand a week of wages that I can run with a $20 online subscription a month. Unfortunately, that's life. So if I'm not using AI and these products, I'm going to get outcompeted by those who are. And then if BCI comes about into the future, I'm going to lose to people who will get the BCI unit. One will enslave the other. Like one will just outthink the other, outperform the other. If other people can get robotic upgrades, gene editing, the longevity exists. Life lengthening will be a thing. If people can live another 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 years, they'll accumulate more wealth. Others who are poor and pawns won't live as long. Their life will be just like a bug person. You'll be a tool for the elites. You won't own anything. You'll rent everything until you die. And all that's really left is your mental capacity, like not just your mental capacity, but what's in here, like a just deeper level of control. Because you don't have much left. Like you don't really have a lot left to really offer the machine. It's almost self-sufficient. Your taxes, like pushing your taxes in, that's not as much of a thing into the future because they'll be able to essentially AI and, AI itself, these companies will be what pays UBI. Like AI will be able to scale and eventually it'll run itself, like these AI agents and groups like that. And it'll be able to do a lot of the online tasks that they'll still be able to sell those same tasks, but a lot of the prices will crash on a lot of things. Like if you're a website developer and you were charging, I don't know, $500 for a website, but now, these like scripts and things can build it for $2, then that whole field is dead. All of that value has disappeared. It doesn't exist. It used to exist. Now it doesn't because there's a million websites and they paid $500 each. So they paid 500 million for them, for example. But now they built the same million websites for $2 million. So all of that value just left. It doesn't exist anymore. It's not just it's been repriced, but that will happen with a lot of things. So some things will deflate, like some things will deflate, but having a website won't mean anything because everyone will be able to have one. That's the hard thing. Like if you're an info product and things like that, it's going to be hard to like compete because maybe I say sit and listen to me and give me $1,000 a year to listen to me. I mean, I'll run a group, I'll do all these things, but something can copy me and then just be me and charge you $5. Like how do you compete with those sort of things? But I think that important will be groups that meet in person, like our group TCM and SW Crypto. We meet in person because people need that. People need that shit, like that community. I would have a tight network. Having a network of people is important. No, my nose is fucked from it's just purely fucked. Like you can actually see that my nose is going down. It used to be like normal, but I think it's fucked. It might be fucked from too much coke, or it might just be fucked from being old. I haven't had any coke in almost a year. I think it's just like a thing where your nose just grows and grows as you get older, but it's also been broken. You can see that it's fucked. So I think that I might just have to get it, I don't know, repaired or something. I think inside it's just fucked. Will I capitulate or will I go out of my sword? I mean, of course I'll go out of my sword. I'll go out of my sword, but I'm not going to stand here and scream about, this problem and this problem and things like that because everyone already knows what the problems are, and it'll just be, it'll fuck me over. That's the truth of it. But I also won't be, I'm not running around kissing walls. It's not really who I am. That's the nature of it. Thoughts on trades careers to avoid automation replacing the career at least for a couple of decades? I don't think that there's any trades that will be safe in a few decades. I mean, decades is a very long time. I think that being an electrician and things like that can be a safe field for the next, maybe 7 or 8 years or 10 years. But as robotics and things picks up and as they actually get better at the circuitry, and that shit will just be replaced as well. Plumbing and things like that actually it requires a lot of like soft touch, like being able to do shit. The robots is going to take a very long time before they can do all that shit. They'll be able to do basic tasks, but actually moving hands and like if you ever see a robotic hand, it's like very primitive compared to your hand when they open it up. Like that's very complicated. Like this shit to be an actual human, this will take them considerable decades, maybe more, to actually build the same sort of technology, maybe like 30 years or something, 40 years to actually be able to build something that's like a person, and it'll still be much less complicated. But they will build all of that shit. Saudi will live on, but why are they supporting Israel? I don't know. I don't really know the specific areas of Saudi. I think that, like Israel and the US are one and the same. When you have the biggest man in the yard, there's nothing that you can do. Like the US is a military powerhouse of the world. I mean, their defense spend is multiples more than any other country, and it has been for like decades. And it's not just that. I believe, and it might seem crazy, but I believe that the US is getting information that's not of this earth. Like I believe that they have been for a very long time. I think that again, they're pushed to start the Battle of Armageddon. They're there, like their finger is on the pulse. Is Singapore the best country in the world right now overall? I don't know if it's the best. It's I think it's a good spot to be in. I don't know if it's the best though. I don't think it's the best at all. How close are we to build a complete AGI in your opinion? I think that already exists. I think that they're using AGI to plan these strikes and these attacks, and that's why they've been so surgical with it. That's why they can hit within 10 seconds, like the whole leadership of Iran are dead. Like the whole shit with Venezuela and things like that. That's how they can plan these perfect campaigns. They're running very deep, and CERN may be a big factor. The Hadron Collider, I would believe that's probably true. I believe the Hadron Collider, they're trying to replicate the dimethyltryptamine release when you die. I think that Big Bang idea, I think is essentially like the Big Bang does exist in that. I don't believe that I don't believe that the Big Bang is that you were born, the earth is born and then you come from like a frog and a monkey and all of that sort of crap. I don't believe anything of that is true, but I believe that's the spark of creation. I think that is so the Big Bang can exist with God as well. Because who started the spark? The Big Bang is when you, but it's not just that it's a Big Bang. I believe that it's when you arrived. Like, I also believe that nothing existed until you were here. Like, I believe that God loved you so much, he created a whole universe for you. I also believe that when you die, the universe goes with you. That's what I saw on a boga. I saw on a boga that essentially I was showed by, I don't know, like some spirit or something that essentially showed me the whole universe. And then I remember I was like, so what happens when you die? And then he just like pulled this curtain and the whole universe just unraveled. And it said that essentially there's like a black hole that waits for everyone. And then essentially when you go, it just sucks everything away with it and you go on to the next thing. But it also said that it is important of how you like how you live your life here does matter for how it is to go into the next thing. But I also don't believe that like if you're good that you go to heaven or that if you're bad that you're sitting in hell forever. I don't believe that shit is true. That you're in fire and all of that. I don't think that that's true. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense if you're God. So you're God, you give people free will and all of these things, but like you really want people to suffer for some reason, and like you're going to condemn them and all this shit. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I believe that life, like I think that it's just a congruency funnel, and you probably just go to the next funnel depending on how bad it is that you fall. You might go to a shitter existence, or like kind of. I also believe quantum immortality is real, so I think that I don't really believe that you can die until your time is up. Like I believe that if you're to pull out a handgun and put it at your head and pull the trigger, you'll either blow a piece of yourself off, but you'll still come to the next place. Like you'll be back in a place that you lived. Until you've done everything that you're meant to do here, you won't die. Like if you lived your life like that, it would be so much better. Like if you understood that, if you've had near death experiences that are unexplained that you actually survived, some of them it's likely that you died and you just jumped to a timeline that you didn't actually die in. That's the truth. Like that really is true, the truth. And if you live that way, that's why God says do not fear, because there's nothing to fear. Like there isn't. If you know that you're moving forward and you're moving forward, and until your time comes, you're not going to die. You're not going to live like an NPC where you just walk downstairs and something falls on you or something, like a Looney Tunes death. That's not going to happen to you. It's the truth of the matter. Like again, like that's why he says, God himself, do not fear. Like it's true. Until your time is up, you will not die. You will walk through traffic and be hit by a car and then be in a place where you're like, fuck, I can't believe that car was very close to hitting me. That's the truth. But it also isn't to say that you can't spit in the face of God. Like you can't jump out of a building. Because even Jesus, right, when he gets taken to the Satan or the devil takes him up to the cliff and says, if you're the son of God, why don't you jump and then you'll be fine? And he doesn't do it because you can't spit in the face of the creator. That changes the process because you can't force it to happen. I think that you get one chance. I had my suicide attempt after the army. I took a heap of pills and took a heap of booze and thought I would die. And then I didn't. But I think that you only would get one chance. I've known so many people in my life, like, I don't know, maybe 10, because I was in an army hospital 14 months. I lived there. So I've known so many people that have died from suicide. And I've known people that have tried once. I've known a lot of people who have tried once and then they live, and then they try twice and they don't live. They die. I think that you get one chance if you're lucky. I've heard some real freak stories of people who have tried to hang themselves and the rope is snapped. Something's broken and they've actually survived. I think that it's likely that you get mercy one time. You probably did die in that moment as well, but you got brought back to learn from your mistake. But if you don't and you keep trying, you will die. And then I also, because remember I had this suicide attempt. And then after it happened, it was like I was the only one on earth. Like everyone had left me. And then I was just sitting there like in the dark, in the cold. And I was still conscious. It was like my conscious said everything had left and only my conscious was still here in a black hole, like stuck there. And it felt like I remember because I was out on pills, I took like heaps and heaps of Xanax. And then I thought that I was dead, but I wasn't. And then I come back, but that felt like I was out for like months. And I was only out for like 4 hours or something. But it was like everything that was good in the world had left. and everyone left, but I was just sitting there alone. Like, kind of like if you were buried alive and the earth itself, everyone had disappeared and you were just sitting there, like, wasn't really scared or anything, but like cold and alone and everything had left. And you had a lot of time to think about what you did. But then obviously I come back and then I was okay. I was in army hospital. But I wouldn't try it again because I've had my one chance. I believe that if I tried to do it now, I would die. God is like the most merciful. Like he does give you a chance. That's the truth of the matter. Like he is merciful. He gives you a chance in that regard, but you can't just continually do it. Why does the US spend money on weapons when their people don't have healthcare and homelessness? Well, I mean, their expansion is via war. They don't care about their people. Like they don't give a shit. I mean, how many people in the Epstein logs and that, and they realize that they're actually victimizing their own citizens and they don't give a fuck. They don't care. Like you need to see who your ruling class is. They don't give a shit about you, like at all. They don't care. They're elites. Eventually, you're going to see Hunger Games ideas where you're going to dance and probably fucking have to do a bunch of different shit. Some of you will be like you watching like Mr. Beast will have games out front of the White House, and you'll have to do all sorts of degrading shit just for the idea of getting your freedom. Like all that shit will come. Like all that shit is coming. I hope that you know that. Like little Hunger Games ideas where you can win your freedom. Like those ideas are going to come to the world. Like the jester used to be a thing where if you're a king, he would hire a jester to entertain them. And a lot of the times into the future, that'll be the job of the common man. The jester is a lot of the streamers and things like that. Like it's the same thing. It interests someone like the Peter Thiel guys and guys like that, where they're just like, oh, I want to just push this new frame out into the world. And they just do it. They just hire a bunch of the same streamers to push the same message out. And every time they load it up, they're like, yeah, I created this movement. They love that. They're running the world. Like Peter Thiel, it would be arguable, is one of the most powerful people in the world because Palantir itself is extremely powerful technology. I mean, he was allegedly meeting with Epstein for a very long time. Understand that Palantir and the CIA and things like that, they're running opposite. They're competitors. One will kill the other. If I had to back who'll kill one, I would bet that Palantir will kill the CIA idea. Like they'll merge together. That'll all be privatized. They're running opposites. Like they're not good for each other. Like they're going to one wants to do the same as the other. So that's just the nature of the world. Multiverse is real. They tell us truth in the movies, hence why so many movies have the theme always to look for the Mandela effect. Yeah, I think it's true. I believe that also they're messing around with the CERN, right? So I believe CERN is a similar thing. So the Hadron Collider, I believe it's the collision that they're trying to create with the Higgs boson, that they say. I believe that they're trying to find the God particle or the God molecule that they say. And it's the same thing. So essentially, if you're to take DMT, I mean, I've smoked it before. It's not the same smoking it as it is to have, see, how synthetics work, or like taking something like taking testosterone is not the same as the natural pulses of test. Like testosterone is like the actual N and theta or something like that. It's structured in a way that at a molecular level, it's a little bit different. It's not the same as the same test that your nuts produce. Like it's a little bit different. DMT is another. The DMT that you smoke is not the same, exactly the same as the DMT that's released when you die. The DMT that's released when you actually die is what jumps you timelines. Like that process is what jumps timeline. Like that spark. It jumps you. That's the bang. That little pulse, that little release is the difference maker. Like that's why they say it's the spirit molecule. Like that is the difference maker. They're trying to replicate it with the collider. It's the same thing. I believe that the collider is likely a way that they can jump timelines. Like it's probably a way. If they can't now, they will into the future. There'll probably be a way that they can jump the Earth that we're in into like a form of a physical hell. So when they say it's a portal and they have the Shiva out the front and all of the shit, like at CERN, they have that. I mean, it's documented. Some of the rituals and shit that they do, you can look them up. They're doing very dark shit. I mean, it's like they've been pretty public about it. A lot of the Olympic Games and things like that as well, kind of show that a lot of the Olympics are around the Euro, and CERN itself is around like Switzerland or parts of the Euro as well. If they're opening a portal, like a portal will open out of the Euro. All of the stuff is running together, but not yet. But yeah, I mean, you need to study all of this shit. Like CERN breakthroughs are just monumental for building out tech. I mean, the World Wide Web was discovered by CERN. So many other things were discovered by CERN that are unexplained. Because CERN itself, again, when they do these bangs or they do these things as well, that's what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to jump timelines. Like, why do you think that they fund these ideas? Like, what's the point of it? Like, what's the purpose? They know that it's risky. I mean, they've already said that there's a possibility of opening a black hole from the same event, like it is that they do. What is a black hole, really? It's a portal. I mean, it's studied. Stephen Hawking did a paper that said that their portals that they're opening can open, or essentially this collisions can open a black hole, right? Because they're messing around with dark matter. I understand that when they have the new CPUs, the chips, what are they? There's a new one that essentially they've had, and it utilizes dark matter. It's another thing like antimatter. It's the same thing. Like both exist at once. Understand that when they start the Mojave chip, right? And understand that when they're talking about these new chip developments out of Nvidia and these like AI advancements, and they name them after the latest one, the newest chip, the Nvidia, they named it after a famous female astrologer. A lot of it, that's the truth. Like they're actually the tech is coming from somewhere else. Like the Nvidia tech, this AI, a lot of that shit is really the truth. That's the nature of it. But understand, like if you can understand the universe itself, what I believe, you're but like you can understand that everything is connected, and you're like but one brain cell in an actual the whole universe of this the universal entity as well. Like everything literally is connected. Like we're all connected now, not just connected on the internet. We're all connected together. You're just told not to because you're told to be an individual and focus on yourself, and then you're rewarded essentially for focusing on yourself. There's no group think. Like the world would be so much better if everyone was a team. Like it's the truth. You wouldn't have as much. Like you wouldn't have there probably wouldn't be many billionaires, but everyone would be comfortable, and everyone will probably be happier. Like that's the truth of the matter. I'm not saying everyone is all the countries that are separate need to merge together and like a soup country. I don't believe that. But if all the citizens of one spot looked after each other and actually worked as a team, then that would be fine. Like there really is enough for everyone. But human greed and a few people need a lot. That means that a few people must not have a lot. Like for some to have everything, many need nothing. That's the way it is. Like the universe, there's finite amount of resources. So if I want, there's a certain amount of wood in the world, but I say I want to stockpile a bunch of wood just because I want to have it. And then now there's not an equal distribution. It's an example, but that's kind of how the world is structured. And it's unfortunate. So is there not some serious punishment for doing evil? Surely as hell is real for at least child killers. I believe that the next thing that you move into is, it's going to be more negative. I think that there's definitely a process, whether it's to be that you're sitting in hell rotting or all of that. I probably don't believe that. You might filter down into a miserable existence the next time, but I believe like also like heaven and hell can exist here based on your decisions. Like this can be a physical hell for some people already. Like if you do a certain deed, kill a kid or something, and you're sitting in prison all day being raped, or like people are trying to get you every single day, then you've kind of really entered a physical hell. Judgment has existed in the physical, and judgment is the most important thing. Judgment is like very important. If you've committed a crime or you've destroyed people or destroyed things and you've never been judged, even in the physical, you're going to destroy your own life. Like I've seen it before. I've known a lot of guys got rich doing rug pulls, made $5 or $10 million, and then that money has destroyed them. That's the saying, money earned wrong is never spent right. But if you haven't suffered for it is that you've done, like if you've created a misery for others and you've never really had the punishment hit you in the face, then it's coming like a boomerang. The karma is very real. And the only way to avoid karma is, essentially if you sell your soul, you have to get others to sell their soul or your time is up. That's one part. But to avoid karma, it's only judgment or rebuking it, or the way that the elites kind of do it, where they tell you what it is that they're doing, like in UAE and Middle East, where they tell you to leave the country. If they then say leave the country 5 times and you don't, and then you get blown up because they know that they're going to do a bomb there, and they're going to do a big false flag, or they warned you to get the fuck out of the country. That's kind of how it is that they work. It does cleanse them a bit. I mean, it seems to. Like, they tell you exactly how they're going to get you. When they stand there and do their little fucking symbols with their hands and all of that shit, they tell you who they are. There's no lies. Like, there's no deception. That's what you see in Epstein. He's not a liar. Like, Epstein is a lot of things, but he doesn't lie. In that shit, he knows that he's a monster. Epstein is not a politician. Like, he stands there and says that he knows that he's doing bad shit. Politicians do the same bad shit, but they convince you that they're not bad. Do you think there are people out there who can jump timelines like in the movie Jumper? I don't believe that. I don't think that that's true. I think that the older that you get, and when you've survived a bunch of shit, that you know that that quantum immortality is real and that you jump, but it's not really something that you can exploit or anything like that. The best way to exploit knowing that you can't die until your time is up is just to live how you would want to live. Similar to they say in the Bible, like you wouldn't be afraid to take that chance. It's true. It's the saying, like, if God is with you, who could ever be against you? It's the exact truth. It's the truth of the matter. My gran had one of those. We was beaten within an inch of her life, said she saw all her dead siblings, but her late husband refused to come, said her time wasn't up yet, woke up straight afterwards. Yeah, I believe that that's true. I also have a theory where I wonder if, I have a theory where I wonder if walking into the light actually just respawns you into the next living. Like, it's to be argued that if you're to walk into the light, that you haven't really conquered the physical yet. Like, you have too many things drawing you back, so you've kind of been like, I don't want it to end, so I'm going to walk into the light, and then I believe that that can very much respawn you into so you can never really leave the place either. Maybe it just keeps repeating. Like, you die, even if you die of old age, you haven't left all of your physical ideas behind yet, and then you just come back to it in another like physical experience. All of those things can exist, and God can also exist. Like, people like really lose their mind about this heaven and hell idea. Like, do you really think that if you lose your body, that you're sitting in heaven? Like, some guys think that if they lose their body, they're up in heaven, like fucking chicks and shit. Like, your body is a vessel. Your lust is just, that's a physical urge. Like, they're gone. Like, all that shit doesn't exist. Like, you're moving off like with a light. Like, you're gone. You've transcended time and space. Like, all of those things, they're a physical product. Like, your senses is just physical. All that shit is gone. Like, you think you're up there with your cock out, like banging chicks and shit. Like, that makes zero sense. Your practical physical urges are gone. You've lost your body. Your body is just a meat sack. Like, your body is essentially, you would understand that your body exists to carry your brain around, and your brain exists to carry your soul around. That's it. That's all that there is to it. All of this exists just because my head exists because it carries my brain around. Like, everything exists just to do that one task. And then their brain and everything exists just to do the task of maintaining my soul. Like, I don't want to lose it. About my dream story, I also control my dreams quite often. Does it help if I continue to do so for the future? I think that it helps. I remember that I went through the Monroe. So what the Monroe tapes, I tried one of the astral projection thing once, and I tried the Monroe Institute or whatever. I went through one of the tapes, and one of the tapes that I went through, I remember that I don't know if I almost died, but I almost stopped breathing during doing it once. I did the meditation one time, just laying down calm. And then I felt like I was like, I don't know, turning into a just light. And then I come back and I couldn't breathe. So you got to be careful with all of that sort of shit. And also the same saying that I say, if you're looking to the other side too much, you can exit your body. Like, you can die here much quicker. If you're looking to the spiritual like too much, you can die. If you're watching horror movies and shit like that on TV, you can manifest that shit into your life. Understand that there's certain things that you watch where they are actually, you're watching a ritual and you don't know, and that shit can attach to you as well. You have to be careful of all of that shit. Like, that shit is very true. Like, demons and shit exist if you think that they are. Like, if you think ghosts and shit exist, like, they exist to you because you're going to manifest them into your life and make it much harder for yourself. Everything can exist if it exists here. What do I think of Edgar Kaishi, the American clairvoyant. I don't know anything about those sort of people. I don't really watch a lot of clairvoyant stuff because I believe a lot of that stuff is just grifting. Like I don't believe that. I think that everyone has an intuitive, like everyone is intuitive, and everyone has a gut feeling, and everyone can be right once or twice. Like there are certain moments where I don't know, I don't want to get in this elevator. There's something wrong with it, and then the elevator would collapse. Or I don't want to go to this party because there's something wrong with this party. I just don't really feel it, and then someone gets killed in a drink driving, or something happens, or the place gets like raided by police, or something goes wrong there, and you're like, "Fuck it, I didn't go well," and that might happen like a couple of times in your whole life. Those sort of events. I think everyone can be psychic a couple of times because your gut feeling. They say your feelings from the gut can actually be like that primal gut feeling, like it transcends time and space. I believe that that's true. Your gut is like, again, it's like a second brain. If you destroy your gut flora with a bunch of shit, though, like eating a bunch of garbage, then it kind of does actually affect your gut instinct, as it were. But your gut is something that you train because you follow it or you don't. Sometimes following your gut, it doesn't play out, and you feel like a dumbass, right? Like some people will see shit in UAE, and some people will be like, "Fuck it, I want to pay 100K to get out of there," and they pay it and they leave, and then a week later they're like, "Wow, I'm a dumbass, I didn't do it." And then others will leave and be like, "Oh well, I felt like it was the right thing to do," and both can be right. That's just the nature of it. Can you live with your decisions? Have you ever had headaches post sex? I'm having them quite often. Do I just need to drink more water? I mean, fuck it. I don't know about your fucking dick. Maybe you have to. Maybe you don't. I don't. I don't know. Maybe you have a blockage or something. I don't know. A mental barrier. But yeah, I mean, imagine your blood pressure goes up when you're fucking. So if you get a headache, it's probably both heads. So yeah, I think this is pretty much wrapped up. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. It's a good chat today. And yeah, just in general, if you're essentially if you're on these lockdown areas because you're worried about the war or any of that shit, just said don't let it get you down. It's likely that you're being farmed because it's a blood moon. I believe the moon itself is a multiplier. Like I've said, the moon is I've said it before. You build with your hands during the day, and you're in the actual masculine. Like masculine is building, like you're doing shit with your hands. It's daylight, and then at night you're kind of the architect. Like you're in the feminine. You're in the emotion. The moon itself is like a multiplier for that. So then now it's a blood moon, and now all of this shit's happening because it's in fact a multiplier. Like something is farming us of that emotional energy. I believe it's true. So take control of it. Don't be afraid to like write down in your journal or do that sort of shit. Like don't let anyone like call you a pussy, or like some people are like you're a fag if you're afraid, or like you're gay if you journal, or all of that. That shit's not true. Like you're not gay or a fag about whatever it is that you do. Like it's your life. Don't there's no men do this and men don't do that. Like you do whatever it is that you want to do. Same as playing games and shit like that. Like some guys say that if you play games, you're a loser and a waste of time. It's not true. You said heaven and hell don't exist. The people who have destroyed children's lives won't be punished. I believe that they're punished, but I don't believe that they're sitting in a fire of brimstone. I don't think that that's probably the truth, but I could be wrong, and it is possible. It's possible that life itself is a purity funnel. So imagine that life itself is a congruency funnel to find Christ and essentially make it into heaven, but not from just. I don't believe it's like from one strike. I think it's possible that your creator doesn't want to meet anyone that isn't up to scratch. He wants to meet the most pure. That's possible. That's what I believe. I mean, you don't have to believe what I believe. That's just what I believe. All right, lads. Talk to you soon. Love you all.